What's up, fam of Liberty, and also everyone else watching this video who isn't following our channel for some unknown reason? It's your boy Big Sarge and my cat Mikey, who doesn't want to be held. Anyway, I'm the artist formerly known as Admin Tim, not formerly. I'm the founder of the Sons of Liberty social media organization that's been steadily enraging MAGA fuckface ass clowns since 2015, and on occasion some super woke leftists who think I'm just gonna ignore their bullshit too. Normally my standard intro goes into some anti-Trump shit just to make sure y'all don't mistake me for some MAGA fuckface ass clown, but the subject of today's video necessitates that I e-flex a little with my credentials. If you're new here, or you've somehow missed the Angry Veteran hashtag, or you don't know what a DD-214 is, or why I'm called Big Sarge, let me be clear here. I'm a combat veteran of the United States Army and a former professional non-commissioned officer. In my post-military service, I spent some time as a private contractor or conflict resolution specialist working for private military companies, which essentially means I was a paid mercenary doing many of the same jobs overseas that I'd done in uniform, but now armed with Kung Fu grip and the ability to tell officers to go fuck themselves and for better pay. After that, I briefly served as a sheriff's deputy until I realized that my primary job was to handle people in court getting arrested after being sentenced, or on non-court days to go evict people from their homes. And that's super depressing, except maybe when someone was maliciously squatting. So now you have that background in preparation for what today's video will be about. So maybe consider following the channel after you watch this video and deciding whether or not you smell what the Sarge is cooking. Before the election, I made a comment that said something like, I'm a single issue voter and my single issue is motherfucking democracy. That's still true, and it drives a lot of why I pivoted to cranking out videos and doing live streams. And sometimes there's a random comment that tries breaking my balls about why I'm not talking about issue X or issue Y or issue Z. I can focus on a lot of things at once, but I can't do everything all at once. And some of y'all get on my case about the vulgarity, the rawness, the profanity, maybe crossing a line by doxing Nazis or whatever. That's fine. I'm not here to be captain of the morally upright brigade. I fight to win, and sometimes that means fighting dirty. I think y'all need to start doing that shit too. A lot of y'all have expressed your thanks and gratitude in the various comment sections for my video and social media content, and or for building Sons of Liberty organization that has helped you to better organize your resistance efforts, made you feel safe, or just given you some peace of mind. And also, apparently, some of you think that I'm funny or whatever, which, I don't know. I tried my hand at stand-up comedy when I was still in the Army, and my dark, twisted sense of gallows humor did not go over well at all with the tree-hugging, dirt-worshipping woke lefties in Central California. So that very first show was also the very last show. Anyway, the part I want to focus on is that peace of mind part, making you feel safe. So I'm going to talk about those two things and maybe diverge on a related tangent. I need you to pay attention to this entire video. Undeniably, we are all under some serious mental strain. A lot of you, like me, have not had a decent night's sleep since Trump won the election last year, and that's progressively getting worse as those of us who love our country and or our fellow citizens watch it further erode. A lot of you are stressed the fuck out. Cracks are starting to show. Some of you are breaking down. A few of you lose your shit in very spectacular but awful ways. We talk a lot about self-care. I like to go to the range and put rounds down range to help relieve stress. I play music, video games, read books, do other nerdy shit. I like pedicures because as a former grunt, taking care of my feet is important. Any form of self-care that you can get for peace of mind is important. Some of y'all are way more fragile than others, and that's not a dig. There's nothing wrong with not being as mentally or emotionally resilient as a stunted frat boy manchild who only gets upset when the keg runs dry. But honestly, I do need to be frank with you for a second. You need to start steering away from bath bombs and scented candles and giant sage torches that look like Snoop Dogg's favorite fatty. That will only get you so far, and as I have frequently said in many videos, no one is coming to save you but you. There's this old phrase, man up, or its slightly less patriarchal term, cowboy up. I have sons, and I've hated that phrase because of its implication. Similarly, there's an Australian comedian, Ronnie Johns, who did a parody of Chopper Read, and his catchphrase was, harden the fuck up. I can't really say that to my kids without getting child services called on me, so what I've become fond of saying is fortify yourself, because it can apply to anyone at any age with anything reproductive related in their pants, regardless of what it is. That's a what's in your pants joke. So, America, it's time for you to fortify yourself. Millions of people have bystander syndrome and are watching the destruction of our institutions and our society. Some of the people that we used to know are gleefully dancing and throwing gas on the fire. There's no more neutrality. Liberals of America, if you're a bystander, then you're complicit at this point. We're very quickly approaching a point of no return where things in this country will start to devolve and do what I call becoming kinetic. The excrement will strike the overhead cooling apparatus if you're picking up what I'm putting down. Well, don't pick up shit on the floor if you didn't catch what that reference was. So when that happens, you need to be prepared for two things. A, you're not going to become a victim. And two, you're going to have your fellow fam of liberty on which you can fall back, because we are all in this together. And if you're running around saying, I've got your six, or I'm on your left, then you better not be blowing smoke up my arse, all right? And if you can't fortify yourself, then you need to get yourself a battle buddy who can be the rock or something, yes, that's an MRE heater joke, on which you can lean. Along with learning to fortify yourself, you need to start practicing a daily routine and finding calm in that. Learning to be calm under pressure is worth its weight in gold. You know why infantrymen train every single task, even the most basic shit like tying their boots and changing magazines over and over again? It's because when rounds are incoming, your natural reflex is to shy away, seek cover, curl up in a ball, piss yourself maybe the first time. I don't know anybody who did that. Making things become a reflexive action is how you overcome that. And you do that by practicing a routine and finding calm in that. If you've ever seen the movie Glory, Private Jupiter Shot is firing a musket, Colonel Shaw walks up to him and starts firing his revolver into the air and shouting at Private Shot. You need to be able to calmly react when shit has gone south. And that's not just a combat maxim. And I realize I'm telling y'all, we all need to be calm when I make angry rant videos, and yesterday or the day before I lost my shit twice in videos, the last video I did, because stupid people pissed me off. That's okay though. I'm a professional. Things out there are getting dangerous because everyone's sitting on the sideline saying, well, where is the line? When the balloon goes up, what line will have been crossed? And a lot of people keep shifting the proverbial goalposts because they're not prepared. Or more realistically, they're all talk. As a combat veteran, I know that my fellow combat veterans and I have a breaking point. We each instinctively know where that breaking point is. It's a slightly different point for each of us. Everyone else that decides they're going to act when the time is right, they have their own gauge. Some folks have already hit that point. As an example, a group of about 10 dudes opened fire on an ICE detention facility in Alvarado, Texas the other day, and an Alvarado police officer was shot in the neck. He's expected to survive. We can see incidents like this increasing as people reach their breaking point and decide to literally fight fascism. Now, obviously, the responsible adult in the room has to say, for the sake of Mr. FBI man's watching, well, that's unfortunate that it came to violence. But honestly, every single person who secretly said, damn it, a little more to the left, when an ear allegedly got bloodied, and you know what I mean. Those same people are listening to or reading about reports that people are shooting at ICE agents, and we're all thinking the same thing. I'll leave it to you to interpret what that is. I know there are a bunch of Haitians that ganged up on ICE and almost quite literally threw them out of their neighborhood. Bear in mind, I'm not calling for violence. The right wing and MAGA fuckface knuckle draggers and mouth-breathing oxygen thief cultists would love nothing more than for exactly that to happen. But what I am calling for is for you to seriously contemplate just how fucking likely it is that violence is predictable and imminent, regardless of who starts it, and how likely it is that you'll be affected by it. Those of you who can, I'm again urging you to arm yourselves. Gun ownership isn't for everyone, but you damn sure need to reevaluate whether or not that it's right for you. And by right, I mean like necessary, or the likelihood of necessity. In that evaluation, you also need to know that gun safety is super important. You have the awesome power to claim a life, intentionally or accidentally. So if you find yourself financially available and your home circumstances mean that you can responsibly own and carry a firearm, and you're not prohibited by legislation for mental problems or criminal record or whatever, then you need to re-examine gun ownership at this point. I would also urge that you start hanging out in person with other responsible gun owners, preferably people that you know and people whose politics, goals, and values align similarly with yours. and there is nothing wrong with getting professional training on how to responsibly carry and own and store and use and clean a firearm. If you don't know, don't fucking John Rambo it, and don't go out there and watch YouTube tutorials on how to do it. Get an instructor to teach you how to do these things, and then you need to practice rigorously. You don't want to be the person who owns a firearm, has never fired it, and then one day suddenly you're like, oh shit, the shit hit the fan, and you gotta like, how do I load this thing? Oh no, which way is up? That's not the time for it. Then it's too fucking late. I'm not saying that you need to be a militia or anything, but mutual aid isn't just sharing brownie recipes, lending your lawnmower to someone, buying them a couple of groceries, or taking a liberal friend to the doctor. Mutual aid can also mean knowing who's got your back. If ICE brings a mechanized infantry company of ASVAB waivers into your local neighborhood to terrify a bunch of minor-aged children playing in the neighborhood on summer break in, say, Los Angeles. That's right, fam. The Department of Homeland Security enlisted, pardon the pun, the help of some National Guard troops, or as I like to call them, the Nasty Girls, and conducted a show of force at MacArthur Park in Los Angeles. Ken Klippenstein obtained some leaked documentation showing that there was a level of military planning that went into this, and that ICE fully expected to go in there and provoke gang members into a gunfight. It was dubbed Operation Excalibur, and DHS armored forces with ground troops, cavalry, and drone support, expecting to descend on the park and confront a sheer army of MS-13 terrorist gang members they were convinced occupied the park. Their own internal memos showed that they rated the engagement as expected to be highly volatile once it went kinetic, and that there was a high chance of collateral damage. Narrator: there was not. Rather than discouraging them, this appears to have made DHS not only reach out to their own media team, but also reach out to Fox News to embed as many cameras as possible for what they expected will be a bloody, decisive battle with gang members gunned down by a ferocious U.S. military and paramilitary presence. The expectation appears to be that footage of the fighting and a decisive victory for U.S. forces would bolster support for Trump's violent campaign against blue cities and cow any opposition, lest they be painted as supporting terrorists. With the projected casualties expected to be brown and lower income, DHS saw no reason not to proceed. The entire thing had been so slow to roll out and ham-fisted in execution that regime forces encountered only passersby and approximately 20 children playing in the park. This is your tax dollars at work, desperately trying to make an urban area full of brown people into a literal war zone. They will try again. Thank you, Admin Matt. If you're expecting the LAPD to act like they're background extras in an episode of The Rookie, and that Nathan Fillion's Officer John Nolan is going to go toe-to-toe with ICE and say, nah, get the fuck out, y'all are fooling yourselves. Remember, no one is coming to save you but you. Eventually, someone's going to get tired of talking the talk and they're going to walk the walk. When the shit goes down, you need to be prepared to not be a victim, to fortify yourself, and to calmly get the fuck out and take everyone around you to safety. That is, if you're not kicking the shit out of ICE's ASVAB waivers. That's going to be my time for today. I'm skipping most of my usual obligatory disclaimers that I do at the end of my videos. I'm toning it down because how long this video is already going to be. If you like the shirts or the hoodie that I wear in my videos, some of them, but not all of them, are available in the Sons of Liberty merch store. If you're thinking about picking up a Sons of Liberty shirt or a flag for your next big protest, or you just want to piss off your bigoted Uncle Johnny, you better go ahead and get you one. The merch store is listed in the link tree in our YouTube channel description and in the video description. New merch goes up all the time. This past week, I just put out 2 new designs, including the chained Liberty shirt that says, "Stop simping for your oppressors." If you like this video, then I'd ask that you like the video, press the like button, leave me a comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. In the video description, there are some links to our other socials, so go follow those as well if you've got accounts on those platforms. Big Sarge, out here. 2 claps and a Rick. Woo! Remember, join or die. One team, one fight. Also, fuck Donald Trump. Hashtag not sorry, not sorry.
And now it's time for the throw punch!